Barney came close, Chissnall came close against Van Gerwen last year. How close will the field get to the world number one? We shall see. The top 16 in the world, Chizzy number 7, Barney number 10, all ready to go. Who will be crowned the master on Sunday evening here in Milton Keynes?
Good evening, Stuart, and good evening to everyone, whoever you may be. Here we go, the start of the season. What a match to start the proceedings, following excellent performances, as you've said, Stuart, in the World Championships. These two quality players go toe-to-toe. Both runners-up in the last 2 years.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, in the final, Barney losing to Van Gerwen, and Chizzy beaten by Van Gerwen here 12 months ago.
16.
Well, both featured in epic matches at the World Championship, two of the best that you'll ever see. Chissnall against Anderson in the quarterfinals, Barney against Van Gerwen in the semi-finals. Well, he hit 180s for fun at the Ali Pali, but it wasn't enough against Anderson, and Chizzy gets the first. Back comes Barney. I think it's fair to say a 2017 season is off and running.
Well, great scoring there, got the crowd going. Both hitting a maximum in the first leg.
59.
Both big stage players, these, Stuart. A very composed Barney. Well, he's giving himself a great chance. Chissnall is such a long way ahead.
Wow, what a start, what a start. 180, 180, 145, 122 on the ball. Brilliant from both players, but Chizzy takes the opening leg against the throw.
What a start from Chissnall. Barney wasn't doing too bad either. And Chissnall carrying it on into the second leg. Certainly the tie of the round is, Stuart, when we saw the draw. And following the World Championships, as we mentioned, they both had some terrific performances there. Certainly the outstanding one from Dave Chissnall was 21 maximums in a match he lost. Incredible.
Well, it's a talking point, isn't it? He played arguably the match of his life, and the result could have gone either way against Gary Anderson. Barney hits another 183 in the opening couple of legs. I just wonder whether Chizzy can reach those heights on a regular basis to propel himself towards a title. He was magnificent that day, but he still fell short.
Yeah, I think now that he's played in the Premier League now for quite a few years, plays in all the majors, he's starting to produce his best games more often than he maybe did initially in his career. Double 9. Ooh.
78.
Barney a long way back.
He will return, Chizzy. But he was brilliant against Anderson. He missed chances as well to take control of that quarter-final.
Just a fantastic game to watch, Stuart, when you get two players who can score as heavily as that, going toe-to-toe against each other. It's fantastic to see.
Yep, not bothering with double 9, split for double 4. We'll have to look at double 2 now.
14.
Still think it was the right decision, no doubt, with Barney on 144, and Barney gets this. Chizzy will just have to accept it.
I suppose you could only argue it's a good decision if it works out for you, but I'm with you there, Stuart, on that
56.
one. He's got to get it now.
Double 2 to double his lead.
Got there in the end. Ended up a 17 dart leg. Could have been a lot better despite those misses on the double. But he won't be worried about that. He's 2-0 ahead. A great start. Race to 10.
100.
Barney's had a good break, he says. He's hungry and ready for the challenges ahead this year. Brilliant at the Ali Pali, 3 consecutive World Championship semi-finals. That takes some doing.
Well, he looked back to his best for lots of different reasons, Stuart, but he just felt happy up there and he produced the goods. And it's a big season for Barney because he's not, by his own admission,
60.
played his best on certainly some of the Pro Tour events, and it's something that he says he wants to put right, but he's got to do it right. He's got to go to the right events. You know, he's saying, same as Phil Taylor, who's mentioning he's cutting down on some of the events because of his age. Barney's doing the same.
Well, Milton Keynes celebrating its 50th anniversary this week. Raymond van Barneveld will celebrate his 50th birthday in April, but doesn't want to wind down. He still has that competitive edge, he says, and he will be playing more of those Pro Tour events. And of course, he cemented his play to the top 16, didn't he? Double 10. Unlucky, but his run to the semi-finals at the Ali Pali saw him up to number 10 in the world with the power to add, so that's a beauty. Another one of those.
That's unlucky. Yeah, I'm with you that with Barney. He's certainly got a lot more in the tank, as they say.
90. Raymond, you require 20.
Well, the leg he has to win. Hold the throw. Good dart. And Barney is off and running. Chizzy still with the advantage, courtesy of that break of throw in the opening leg. Fortnight ago, Chizzy got married.
85.
Lucky to celebrate in the new year.
I was talking to him last night, said it was a fantastic day, really enjoyed it.
57.
He's getting himself ready for a big, big season. And we talk about Dave Chissnall and Peter Wright yet to win a TV event. We keep saying it's around the corner, but when there's that certain MVG still in the tournament,
80.
very difficult to do. They're certainly good enough to win the tournament, just not quite getting there at this point in time. I'm sure their time will come though. Both quality players with darts like these.
Two apiece.
100.
Sometimes difficult to analyse too, isn't it, when it's the first sort of tournament of the season following the World Championships, and how much of a break some of the players have had. Some have had more than others. This will be a good indication of what level they're at, ready for the season.
It's a gauge, isn't it? And you know, from here on in, it's just busy, busy, busy. Next weekend, it's the first round of 3 UK Open qualifiers, all leading to Minehead at the beginning of March, and Chiznall here looking at tops.
47.
6 UK Open qualifiers, the UK Open finals live on ITV4.
Not quite.
Yeah, it's that competitive edge, isn't it? We've just seen over 400 players at Q School trying to win a prize PDC tour card.
Yeah, I was there for 4 days and some fantastic quality. I remember one of the games, actually Mick Todd, 121 average. It was incredible.
8 score.
Well, a big chance here from nowhere for Barney.
Well, couldn't quite get the 170, but have two. Well, did have 2 darts, but got it with the first one. Tops for 2-2. Ooh, didn't look like it was going in, easy to say after the event.
2 out of 11 on the doubles, Chizzy. Make that 2 out of 12. This will be a real...
We've all been there on the double one, Stuart.
Well, this will be a real steal for Raymond van Barneveld. That's a great guide for him. Yep, there we have it. 2 all. After Chizzy misses half a dozen darts at double.
Oh, double 10 being kind to Barney. He loves that double 10. 2 on the bounce to get him back to 2-2. And starts leg 5 with a maximum.
Winner of this, by the way, will play either Gary Anderson or Benito van der Pas, who we'll see a little later on. If you are just joining us following this, Phil Taylor and Michael Smith, then Anderson and van der Pas. And Peter Wright against Ian White.
37.
Well, from 2-0 down, Barney is looking pretty good to go in at the break 3-2. Chissnall still a long way behind, but puts himself just about back in the leg. But Barney's having none of it. Double 16. Oh, beautiful setup.
68.
What a leg. Barney on a possible 10-darter. Fabulous darts from the Dutchman. 2 down. It looks like he's going to hit the front.
Raymond requires 16.
Fabulous darts.
10-dart
leg. And Barney hits the front for the first time in the first match of the 2017 Masters. Great quality. 6 180s already. First to 10. Barney with the edge. Leads Chizzy 3 legs to 2. Welcome back to the opening night of the off we go. Chizzy looking to hit back. He's missed 10 darts at double. Hence Barney leads.
59.
Yes, we'll have to blame that double 2 on little Richard, practicing on his double 2 and double 3.
3 changes from the top 16 last year. Stephen Bunting, Terry Jenkins, Vincent van der Voort all dropping out. Simon Whitlock back in. His reward to play
60.
Michael van Gerwen. But Benito van der Pas, who we'll see a little later against Gary Anderson, and Menchur Sulovic, who plays Saturday night against Jelle Klaassen, the 2 Masters debutants.
Yeah, certainly some mouth-watering prospects there. The crowd certainly enjoying the occasion after the Christmas break.
41.
Well, start of the new season, so much to look forward to, isn't there, during 2017? If you could look into your crystal ball, what do you reckon? What's your prediction? What do you think may happen?
99.
Well, everybody's talking about Michael van Gerwen, and quite rightly so. You just sometimes cannot see him doing the same as he did last year, because he won everything. It won't be a surprise,
60.
but I don't think that will happen. I do feel that Peter Wright will win his first TV event, and I certainly think we'll see a lot more of our youth tour players qualifying for TV events, because the standard is incredible. As Barney hits another maximum.
Well, this is total control, you would think. That's a disappointing last one, unlucky there for Chizzy. Barney here for a 4th straight leg. 14-darter to follow a 10-darter, and from 2-0 down, he leads 4-2.
Well, the first couple of legs, Dave Chissnall was irresistible. 1-2-2 finish on the ball for a 12. He missed double 18, which would have kept his average around 112, 113. Messed about on the double, eventually won that leg, and since then, his average and scoring has really dropped, and Barney has upped his. Now leads 4-2.
Well, I wonder if we're going to get our 50th TV 9-darter over this weekend here in Milton Keynes. 49 9-darters, televised 9-darters. Never won at the Masters.
60.
Who will hit the 50th TV 9-darter at some stage this year? Maybe this weekend.
Well, you never know. The standard that these players play at now. Barney looking mean. Well, you can see that one falling out the treble 20. Would have been a maximum. He just caught the dart as it went in and stopped the power. That's why it fell out.
It took the speed out the dart, didn't it?
24.
Chizzy all over the place at the moment.
Started so well as well, didn't he? Hit a couple of maximums very early in the match. But as we know, Barney's such a big psychological player, uses it a lot in his build-up and his preparation. And as we say, Chizzy's one of those original taproom players, isn't he? Who just goes up there and does it.
76.
Chizzy missed half a dozen darts to go 3-1 up. That, so far, has been the big turning point in this match. Plus the fact that Barney's finishing has been spot on and Chissnall's hasn't. 5 out of 9 on the doubles and 5 consecutive legs now for Van Barneveld.
Yeah, all looking good for an RVB.
16.
Yeah, new year, new start for Barney. Last time he won a big individual major, the Premier League, back in 2014, but determined look on his face. He seems to be enjoying it as well. And carrying on his form from the Alexandra Palace to Stadium NK. Great response, Chizzy.
Fabulous starts here in Milton Keynes from both players.
9 180s in 8 legs of darts.
93.
Not a bad start, Stuart. Not a bad start.
Barney's pushed his average over the 100 mark. Chizzy languishing down at just 88.
55.
Sometimes averages don't tell the whole story, but on this occasion they do.
Well, at 5-2 down, at hitting a maximum there and throwing first, you feel it's a leg he needs to win
58.
to really give himself subconsciously that chance to feel that he's getting back into the match. This will certainly help.
138.
Well, had a chance at a 170 earlier in the match, but couldn't get that first treble in. It is now. He needs another for the bull. Ooh. May still go for the bull to leave tops.
130. David requires
Exceptional
68.
darts from Raymond van Barneveld. Can't afford to miss this time, Chizzy. Well, he's hit the treble 5. 53 left. Double 18, huge dart.
50.
Not quite.
Well, this is for
David requires
6
40.
consecutive legs for Barney.
His momentum went there, Dave, didn't it? Because he kept stopping and just almost trying to recalculate and thinking he's got it right or wrong. But
Game
I was just going to say, will he get another opportunity?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. He was left with 53, and he wasn't sure which double to go for. He wasn't sure whether to 13 for top, 17 for double 18, and I think he got caught in 2 minds.
41.
6 legs on the spin now for Barney. Checking out at 50%.
Chizzy needs to continue with some of the high scoring, but just be a bit more consistent when it gets to the latter part of the leg. As you see there, 15% on the doubles, 2 out of 13. 4 or 5 of those were in the second leg, which he won to put him 2-0 up, but since then, he's certainly dropped his guard.
Has to win the next 2 legs for me. He's making a good fist of this. 9th leg. At 6-4 at the next break, Chizzy's still very much in it.
Well, that'll certainly help, but it's the next 2 visits that will make the difference. And again,
40.
it's not worked out too well. 1-4-1 a finish, but a difficult one. You would think that Barney would leave something pretty decent here after this visit, and he has.
40.
So again, the pressure again is on Chizzy.
41.
Would you believe it? Ooh. Combination finish.
That's the sort of thing he would have done as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knowing Davey, he'll miss so many and then take out a big shot. Wasn't quite to be. 20 for tops. 7-2. 7-2 it is. Acknowledging look round to the crowd. 2-0 down, 7-2 ahead.
Barney's taken all his chances. Chizzy's missed 12 darts at double. They've all proved very, very costly. 6 180s for Chizzy. trailing by 5 legs on the scoreboard.
Yeah, 3 maximums in the last 3 legs. The previous 2, which he lost.
A terrific standard. A dozen maximums in 10 legs. Here goes Chizzy.
Oh, going daft down here. Going daft. Oh, he's back in again. Get the pantomime boos from the crowd. And then the applaud as the player walks back round. Love to see the 9.
£10,000 bonus for a 9 darter this weekend at the Masters. Well, can Chizzy finally stop the rot here? He's lost 7 consecutive legs.
He's going for tops on this occasion. He's left himself double 18 a few times and missed it. Well, there you go, Dave. That's where it is. And he eventually hits a double. The look tells you the story. Barney on course for a last 8 appearance. Dave Chissnall finally gets another leg on the board. But he still trails Raymond van Barneveld by 7 legs to 3.
Seven 3 Barney, 12-180s already. Still to come, Phil Taylor against Michael Smith. Don't go anywhere, by the way. Phil Taylor with some news to impart coming up before his match with Smith. Then Gary Anderson plays Benito van der Pas. And Peter Wright against Ian White to round off the opening night. Chizzy finally stopping the rot here after going 2-0 up. Barney then winning 7 on the spin.
Yeah, Barney looking pretty good. Smooth in his action. Looking pretty controlled and in a good place at this moment in time. But as we know, this game can change things so quickly. Oh, Dave, getting that leg on the board was so important for him. Then the breaks come. Gather his thoughts and come out for a challenge in the latter part of this match. Still trailing by 4, a lot of work to do and a lot of darts to be thrown. We've had 12, there's number 13. Maximums for fun.
100. Raymond, you require 100.
Significance of the Barney 180 that it gives him control of the leg back.
Treble 17 and the ball. Stay upstairs.
97. Dave, you require
same equation.
61.
Well, they would have been thinking that they maybe had to tear that out to have a chance of the leg, but 64 can be missed. Still trailing by 4, a lot of work to do and a lot of darts to be thrown. We've had 12, there's number 13. Maximums for fun.
100. Raymond, you require 100.
Significance of the Barney
For 8-3. Treble 16, double 8 should be the target. Well, is it? Went for treble 16, hit the treble 8, straight into double top. No messing. 8-3. Almost looked deliberate, Stuart.
significantly, Alan, 8 out of 14 on the doubles, 102 average. It's pretty impressive thus far from Van Barneveld.
Well, it did take him a couple of legs to get going, didn't it? And Chizzy came well and truly out of the blocks in those first 2 legs, certainly on the scoring. As you see the averages there, despite all the misses, Chizzy still averaging 96, which is still pretty good standard. But Barney still in the tongue groove. Well, coming downstairs.
139.
Playing pretty well. Certainly a big season for Barney, as it is for all the other players. As the season unravels, I'm sure there'll be plenty of stories, Stuart.
56.
And I'm sure quite a few will involve MVG.
Have the feel of a new season. It does seem an age ago since Michael van Gerwen won.
See the averages there. Despite all the misses, Chizzy still averaging 96, which is still pretty good standard. But Barney still in the tongue groove. Well, coming downstairs.
Second World Championship, only 3.5 weeks. Brilliant final against Gary Anderson.
100. Davey requires 68.
Tops the target.
28.
Just
Davey,
those
you require 106.
one down at double finishes can sometimes change the complexion of a match and the thoughts that you have in your head. Treble 18 for double 16 to put him, well, not quite this time. So Chizzy will return
40.
to get another leg on the board,
Davey requires
just to
40.
keep hanging in there. And hope that you can start
Game
getting
shown
something
in
going in
12
the
leg.
latter part of this
Dave
match.
Chissnall, 13th leg, Raymond through first.
Struggling with his thoughts at the moment because he knows he's not performed to the best of his ability. But that can soon change.
97.
Barney 2 legs away.
42.
Throwing first in this leg after a poor visit from Dave.
90.
It's unlucky. Still some 40 or so ahead. So giving Dave Chissnall the work to do.
60.
13 maximums in this match so far. 7 from Barney.
100.
So the scoring's been there from both players, but it's Barney that's been taking out the doubles. Chizzy.
Barney 2 legs away.
42.
Throwing first in this leg after a poor visit from Dave.
90.
The maximums against the throw. But Barney's still in control of the leg.
100.
Well, he had a look there. Again, there were 3 really well thrown darts for little reward. We saw earlier in the leg, 90 scored.
I think he would have been pretty disappointed if neither of those 3 would have been in the treble, but he got 1. So treble 18 now for tops. So an outside chance for Chizzy, not just for the leg, but if you can take out a nice clean 120 here, Stuart, against the throw as well. Good start. 20 for tops. Ooh. Did the old jockey jerk on the second one there, didn't he?
100. Raymond, you require
Nearly through his shoulder.
So to go within 1 of victory. That's a perfect marker.
Game shown in the third
9-4. Clinical from Barney. 9 out of 16 on the doubles. And he's 1 away from the quarterfinals of the Masters here in Milton Keynes.
90.
Yeah, and his overall performance has been pretty good. He's kept in control. Even when he was 2-0 down, he knew he hadn't yet got himself going.
100.
Good last one. From Chissnall's point of view, he's just got to win this throw here, and almost has that, well, that feeling I've probably lost the match. relax a little bit more.
9-4. Clinical from Barney. 9 out of 16 on the doubles. And he's one away from the quarterfinals of the Masters here in Milton Keynes.
90.
Yeah, and his overall performance has been pretty good. He's kept finishing.
140.
11 140s, 7 maximums and 12 ton pluses isn't bad. After halfway through 14 legs.
Yeah, but it's the 14 missed darts at double
59.
that have cost him.
And the timing, we mention the timing so often, don't we? It's the timing of the misses. To the 17, one of the left tops. So, flying high, Barney.
100. Diving requires 74.
To stay in the contest. Yep, double 16. Yep, it's in Chizzy, double 16.
On the wire.
Game shown the
That one,
14
well,
Dave Chissnall.
almost apologetic.
Reverse.
But it was in. Just trying to G himself up. He knows it's last chance scenario. He also knows he's capable of one of those purple patches. It's not looking likely at this moment in time, but it can happen. He's trying his hardest to do that. Good start to the leg.
35.
Yeah, last year, just thinking about when he played Robert Thornton here. Was he 8-0 down against Thornton in the Masters on this very stage and won? We've seen some amazing comebacks, haven't we? More so than the 2014 final when Wade was 5-0, James Wade 5-0 and 9-2 down to Mervyn King and won 11-10. But yeah, Chizzy was down and out 12 months ago against Thornton.
It's not looking likely at this moment in time, but it can happen. He's trying his hardest to do that. Good start to the leg.
35.
Amazing win.
It was strange for lots of different reasons, but even at 8-0 up when Robert Thornton lost the first leg, he looked under pressure. It was strange, wasn't it? I remember that pretty well. Just shows you what the mindset can do in this match.
No point going for the ball with Chizzy back on 230. You would feel it's match point Barney.
Oh, they say you can't beat a bit of bully. He didn't need it then. He's left himself double 16, which would cap a pretty good performance from RVB.
And there it is. A really impressive performance from Raymond van Barneveld. He goes through to the quarterfinals. Last year's runner-up, Dave Chissnall, is out. The 2015 Masters runner-up, Van Barneveld, averaging nearly 100, 10 out of 19 on the doubles. Excellent stuff. He's a 10-5 winner in the opening match of the Masters here in Milton Keynes.